Video, I'm going to be showing how to use the Nigiri plugin or extension for After Effects to animate your manga page. So the first thing you're going to want to do is to import your already masked manga page into After Effects. So I'm just going to grab one from Oshinoko that I did earlier, and then you're going to make sure you want to import it as a composition retain layer sizes, and also make sure create composition is checked, and then click on open, and then again retain layer sizes, and editable layer styles is also fine. Okay, and so once we have this open, you want to click on the new composition that you just grabbed, and then once you have this composition generated, you want to order your panels in the order that you want them to be animated. So in this case, I actually messed up here, so I want 2 to actually come before 1, so I'll move that above 1. But yeah, the rest looks pretty good. And if you have another background layer, you can actually keep it as long as it's called background, and Nigiri will ignore it. Okay, so once that's all good, you can click load on Nigiri to load in all the panels. And so it'll load in all the panels and try to guess how it wants it to be animated. So for one, since there's no in animation on one, there's no, the first panel always is static, but then on the next outs, it'll go right, up, and then right again twice. But if I didn't want that, let's say on the second one, I actually just want it to fade out. I can make that how I want it. Okay, but then on the second one, how do I want it to come in? I can either make it come in from left, fade in, or come in from down. Let's say I actually want it to come in down. And then I can also define how the previous behavior happens. So let's say on 3, instead of keeping the previous item, I flush it, and then that'll remove the outs for the previous. And then the last 2 options are darken, to darken the page as this panel comes on, and also pan, to allow the panel to pan across the screen as it comes in. And then also you can add in a padding between this panel and the previous. Okay, so once I'm happy with that, I can click on animate, and it'll animate all of those pages for me. So as I mentioned on the first one, it's always static. So this one will be static. Second one, this one fades out, and the next one comes in. So this actually wasn't how I liked it. I would have liked it to come into the center, but I can actually just adjust that after the fact, put it towards the center, and then click on update. And then this will propagate that change into the next panel. So now it's in the center. And so we can view this one, and I think that looks pretty good. But since it only propagates once, so you have to make sure you click update once again. And then this will go here. Next animation. So this looks pretty good, except I again want to change this. So I'll click on that and just move this to the center. And then I can update. We're working on improving the algorithms, but right now it still tends to make some mistakes like this. And again, I want to move this towards the center. Okay, and so I'm pretty happy with that. And so once I'm done with that, I can click on render, and what render actually does, it goes through the entire project. You actually can't see right now because the window is really small, but it'll go through the entire project and load in every composition generated using Nigiri into your media encoder. And then once you have this, you can simply click on render, and then this will render out into the format that you can use to upload to the Tuna uploader. But I don't actually want to do that right now. So let's go through some of the other button, which was pan, and that's simply to pan an item that you might have not that you might want to have been panned. And lastly, speak. You can pretty much ignore this. This is just a thing that we're using. We're experimenting with, but yeah, you guys can just ignore this. That's pretty much it. Oh, one other thing, count. So count pretty much means how many times do you want it to stay on the screen, for how many slides. So let's say for 3, I actually wanted to stay up for 3 times. When I click animate this time, well, 3 will actually appear 3 times. So this will appear once, twice, 3 times. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let us know if you have any questions. I know this was a little bit confusing, but yeah, feel free to read the documentation and let us know how we can improve it. All right, thank you.